Hey kids, it's Hadley, and tonight we're going to be bringing you another spine-tingling episode of Watching Wyrd as we count down to Halloween. And trust me, tonight's show is full throttle horror. We're going to be talking about some spider movies, and if you're not afraid of spiders, I don't know what to tell you. They're creepy little things with fangs and little furry bodies and 8 legs, and they can get anywhere. So we're going to kick things off with Sting, and then we're going to talk about the Shudder Original Infested. And from there, we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Bad Monkey. Yes, you heard it. We're going to be talking about That Damn Arm Is Back, which is Season 1, Episode 5, with Yancey making a crucial discovery while in hiding at the Dragon Queen drilling egg about Neville. It's going to get weird. We're here for you. We can't wait to talk about it with you. But before we dive in, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on our social media accounts to make sure that you stay in the loop of our weekly live streams. Plus, if you really want to join in with the weird kids and just kind of find out what's going on with us, we always have interesting things coming across on our Facebook group. So you might want to join and just kind of see what the weird kids shenanigans are all about. So grab your popcorn, lock the doors, get that tinfoil hat, and we're back every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And if you can handle the chills, thrills, and weirdness, we're bringing it.
You can't handle the truth.
Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying.
Hey, Rich.
What's up, guys?
Not much.
Hey, good to see
Hi,
you.
everyone. Good to be here. How is everybody tonight?
Good.
Checking shoes and killing spiders.
Oh, man. These two movies,
You
man.
know, I always have to check my wife's shoes if they've been in the closet for a while, Can you check that for me? Sure. Let me stick my hand in there.
You just shake it.
Let me tell you a spider story about checking your shoes.
Okay.
So I went to Australia with my friend, and we tented out one night because we were in the outback in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, we get up the next morning, I had left my shoes outside. And I'm like, I need to bang these shoes out because I don't know what the hell could be in there. So I picked up my boots and I banged them together. And an eastern mouse spider fell out of my boot and bit me on the foot. It was about that big. It looked like one of the freaking things, except uglier than what you guys saw tonight on those spider movies. Oh, it was awful. I had to go to the hospital. I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. So I squished it and we brought it with me. The guy said it's a mouse spider. It's sort of a relative of a funnel web, but not as bad. But it hurt. And this spider was not little. Let's see if I can find one and post it in.
Nothing in Australia is little.
No, I don't.
No.
It was awful. It was
No.
Let's see if I can you post pictures to chat?
I can share pictures. If you put it on the screen on your screen, you can go to the present thing.
Can I
Just make sure it's just a picture of a mouse spider, nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else, buddy. We don't need to know that stuff.
We don't need to see your Nixon pictures.
Or another crook.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I'm another crook. Yeah.
Now, how do I put it on here?
Hey, everybody.
At the bottom. Oh, I need to save it.
While he's doing that.
Never mind. Look up Eastern mouse spider.
Draw one.
Let's see what it is. Oh man.
Just draw one.
Draw one?
Rich, put it on there.
It looks like this.
Yeah.
It looks just exactly like this.
It's not
about
small.
that big. Maybe about this big. It was unpleasant.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
So how is everyone?
Yeah. Australia, everything wants to kill you.
Stressed.
Stressed?
Work is just driving everybody insane this week. We're still trying to get used to the whole flow of things.
Yeah. Plus, you just got over having plague, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm feeling fine now, except for like it sounds like I got a scratchy throat. No, they have me this year teaching water-based landscape painting. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, then, that should be fun for you.
Oh, yeah.
What's an idea? You have no idea. What's an idea?
Idea.
Deer with no eyes.
See,
No idea.
you guys, where you live, you need to speak the proper English.
We
The
do.
flat
We
American-
were here first. The rest of you Southerners
Exactly.
and Midwesterners, I mean,
High five, Scott.
Southwesterners, you were here later. Yeah.
What the hell? I don't know what I missed, but I was saying hey to everybody in the chat room,
Yeah.
and I come back and I hear you Southerners. What the fuck?
You have
I
no
was
idea.
saying that Rich and I have to speak the proper language. And I said,
We
Rich
do.
and I do. We were here first. It's you Southerners and you Southwesterners that came later. You're
I
screwing
think
up.
that depends on who you're talking to.
Well, wait a minute. I've got relatives that were here before you guys were here.
That's what I'm saying.
But not here, right? Weren't they for a little further south? Mm-hmm.
True.
Tina, what? Isn't she the original?
She's
Is
an
she an
original,
OG?
yeah. Yeah, she's an OG. She's more of an OG than I am. She's an OG. Definitely.
Waited.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to rib you a little bit.
That's
You know,
fine.
because my talk is boring.
Yeah, we can park our cars, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
We know how to bang the Yui to get to the Packy.
Yeah, forget about
Hey,
it.
we can't all speak like Kennedy, okay?
No, now wait a minute. The Kennedys do not speak like Bostonians. They have their own different
They have their
accent.
own thing.
okay. So
Yeah.
who else can
I
we
get-
offend?
Yeah.
You guys, and you're being down on everybody.
Yes, of course.
So, hey, Tony I's back in review.
We're
Hey,
Bostonians.
Tony, I hope you're feeling better.
You know, the happiest state is New Hampshire. You know, the state with the biggest buttholes.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
True story.
Things I didn't need to
Well, you
know
did-
about your personal lives, but
Well, you did
all
get
right,
Matt
let's get
Damon
started with
in
these
that.
spiders. Come on, I'm kind of excited. I enjoyed both of these movies.
They were better than I expected.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I was telling my daughter today that I thought Sting was a much better movie. It was like everything about it was better, but that Infested was way scarier.
Oh God!
If you're looking
Yeah.
to be scared, you want Infested because it was. I don't think the movie was as good, but it was significantly scarier than.
Well,
Yes.
before you jumped on, I was telling the guys that I found Infested to be something that I didn't need to read the subtitles. That I was so caught up in what was going on, I kind of felt like I knew what they were saying or enough about it, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very real. It was a very real everything about it. And then I was like halfway through it when they. I'm not going to do any spoilers just because somebody else needs to do that. But halfway through it, I started thinking about it from the point of view of the police and the scientists, and I thought, oh, that could make a good movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I heard someone say Clark Morris was in the house, so I'm going to have to shoot a shout out to Clark.
Hey, Clark.
Hey, Clark.
Hey, Clark.
We all love Clark.
Well, who wants to start off?
Did you get bitten by a spider? Oh boy. I'll let. I didn't write anything up tonight, but I can do one if you want. But I would pass
I
it
can
off
do
to
I
you.
can do one, but I'd prefer to do Infested because that's the last one I saw.
Fair enough.
You want to do Sting, Rich? Because I don't have anything for it. So.
No, I'll have to throw it out there. Like I said, I don't have anything written up tonight. But yeah.
Flying by our seats of our pants here, folks.
Yeah.
We're about to watch Ristucci be booted out the plane by Alan, and he's going to knit his parachute as he falls and plummets to the ground.
I can knit a little.
All right,
I know what
start
it is.
knitting.
You want me to go first? Or you want to go first, Scott?
I'll let you go first.
All right. Sting is a relatively new movie. I'm not sure if it came out in 2023 or 2024, but I think it was 2024.
Yeah.
I watched it about maybe a month ago, and then I watched it again today. And it's a pretty good flick. It's about a young girl who finds this little spider, and she likes the spider. The spider's cute, and she's like, "Oh, hey, we'll be pals." And she puts the spider in his little spiderarium, and then the spider starts displaying some odd intelligence and vocal abilities. It's kind of weird. It doesn't talk per se, but it definitely it can mimic sounds and make some cool stuff. And then the spider starts to get a little bigger, and we start missing a few pets. There's a couple of people that get sort of spidered, and it just kind of goes on from there. And there's her mom, her not necessarily a stepdad, it's like the mom's boyfriend, and their young baby, like he's an infant, he's like 6 months old, and then the little girl. They're the family that lives in one of the apartments in this apartment building. So Sting, the big spider, he sort of escapes, and he goes throughout the building, and he starts doing bad things. He kills a bird, and he goes after a dog, but doesn't kill the dog. And then the dad realizes, oh crap, this giant spider, spider's about this big now. This big spider is really bad news, and it's doing bad things. So he takes it away, or he tries to take it away. Of course, Sting finds his way back, or her way back to the house, and now she's pissed, and she's bigger, and she's living in the vents, and so she's zipping around, and she's killing people. People start to die, and then all hell breaks loose. They try to kill Sting, and Sting grabs the mom, grabs the dad, brings it into the sort of Sting dungeon down into the vents, into where all its food is kept, I guess. Then the little girl's like, the young girl, she's not little. What the hell's going on? Oh, Sting, you're evil. And she tries to block it and keep it in the thing and in the vents. So Sting gets a little pissy and goes after the kid, the baby, grabs the baby, brings it down into its little sting hole. And then the girl, she sort of Schwarzenegger's up, and she gets a squirt gun full of stuff, and she's got some weapons, and she goes after Sting. She frees the dad. The dad frees the mom. They fight the spider off, get the baby, and now they're kind of all trapped in this area where the spider is, or the spider's not. It's the spider's lair, I guess you'd call it. A nest.
Yeah.
And so I probably shouldn't wreck the end for anybody, but I kind of did the whole flick right there. So I mean, Wikipedia or whatever. But I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty tense in some places. Not nearly as tense as the other film, but it had some good special effects. I really liked the way they showed the spider, and there were some interactions between the girl and the mom and the stepdad that were off. It was just a little, it was, family tense, that type of thing. But it all sort of culminates in the end, and you're not sure if the stepdad's a dick or a nice guy, but that is shown at the end too. I won't wreck that for you. And I liked it. I thought it was a good flick. I have no idea how it did in the box office, or if it was direct to video, or did it actually?
No,
it was in the movies.
They made it for 1.1 million. Mm-hmm. Opening weekend it grossed 825,000, but worldwide it made 2.4 million.
Oh, well, that's good. So it's all right then. Oh, that's good. Hey, Doc. Anyway, that's kind of what I had. What did you guys think about it?
I liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad, because you got different. I'll go last. Have me go last.
I liked it. It was fun. And there was a lot of humor in this too. It wasn't just straight, because it's the mother's, the little girl's grandmother is in the building with her sister. And the grandmother is this sweet, lovable old woman who's got dementia. And her sister is just, oh my God. The only reason there were no flying monkeys in it because they wouldn't stay around her. And she's a slumlord that runs this building into the ground, and she hires the stepdad to repair the place. And she's a riot. I mean, you hate her so much. You love her. The exterminator who comes in is funny as hell. Reminded me, it had a little bit of the humor of Arachnophobia. But this one, I enjoyed it. But it was more of a monster movie. This was about the spider from space. It starts to grow. It takes over. And at the end, like you said, the little girl Schwarzenegger's up and, goes after her friend to try to save the few survivors left in the apartment building. I liked it. It was fun. It's a little slow to begin with. I think the first Greek action scene is about a half hour in, and then it's like some minor scenes, but the last half hour of the movie is fun. It's very action packed. It's cool. Definitely worth watching.
Have
Well, so I enjoyed it. I thought that I'm not a big spider fan, so like I said, I don't know why I thought this was good for us to watch, but I found this movie for a time. I thought the little girl was scarier than the spider, but the spider came through at the end, and it was. I'm not going to say heartwarming, but it was good to see the family come together at the end. There was a time there where you just didn't know, and like I said, I enjoyed it.
that little girl that was, you know why she was badass? Because she was young Furiosa. That's the same actress.
Is that the same girl?
Really?
Yeah, this is an Australian movie.
Oh,
It was I liked it, but it's more to me. It reminded me of a kid's horror movie. It
yeah,
had a
I
lot
can
of the
see that.
tropes. Yeah, it had a lot of the tropes, especially the ending. Where someone is, you think they're dead, and then someone's like, "Oh, please don't die, come back, or they're pumping on their chest, and they come back to life. Which, for this kind of movie, it makes sense just because of all the other stuff that's happened to the main character. It's an enjoyable watch. But to me, it just felt like a kid's movie. Like I'm a grown up. True, you're right, Landa. But it's worth watching. It's worth watching. It reminded me of what's that movie with the little things that eat everything?
Critters.
Huh?
Critters.
Yeah. It reminded me of that.
Critters.
Gave me that vibe. It's worth the watch. Just there's nothing really different in it, I thought, but I enjoyed it. And so if you're looking for a alien spider movie, this would be the one to watch. Definitely. So what do we rate it, folks?
You go first, take Mike. Go ahead.
Hadley, your turn.
I'm gonna say 2.75.
Oh.
It's because of the other shows that we watched this week. I mean, with the other movie was so much better, but it's definitely not a 5. So it's because of that.
Scott?
I'll give it a 3 because I did like I love the Exterminator. I used to be an exterminator when I was in college. So, I love that. I'll give it a 3.
Ragnar?
I will also give it a 3. It definitely had, like Scott says, it's got a few comedic elements that are pretty good. And Dungeon Dan over here says it was kind of Saturday afternoon scary, and he's right. It's what you said, Alan. You're absolutely correct. It's not. This didn't poke the fear. This was more like that's pretty cool, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it. You should watch it. What about you, buddy?
Yeah. I'll give it a 3 just because it was a solid movie, and it's enjoyable. Definitely, but like, we're saying, like Dan too, it's more of a uh, you know, kids type of horror movie in a way, a chiller, nothing, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not like where anything, I mean, bad people do die in it and stuff, but it's not, that's not the focus of it. And it's more of a family drama. You know, a lot of it's a family drama with the, you know, the step dad and the, you
Yeah.
know, little girl and stuff, and the new baby. So it's worth a watch though. Definitely. Definitely. This next one, Landa, is scary.
It's scary.
I don't know if you
It's
saw it or
scary.
not. Yeah.
Should I go?
Yeah, go.
Oh,
All right, it's Infested. It's a French-made movie. It is, the setting is very similar to Sting. It's a rundown apartment complex. I think it's more like a condo complex because they own the property. And people are trying to fix it up and get out. The tenants in it range from, you know, these like pseudo thugs to this one guy who is just a complete total butthead. There's this lovely African woman who's, you know, trying to move on. Everybody in the building loves her, but it focuses on Jacob. And he's this kid. He's about to turn 30 years old. He's trying to turn his life around. He stopped selling drugs. He stopped, you know, stealing things and selling them. He's trying to start his own business in the basement. And he's in a fight with his sister. Their mother's passed away, and he's in a fight because he wants to stay there. This is where, you know, he was born and raised. She wants to sell it and move on. And he winds up buying, because him and his friend, who's in the movie later, when they were kids, they said, oh, we're going to start our own reptile farm for the kids in the neighborhood. It never panned out, so he likes to buy exotic insects. And when he's buying a gift for the African woman who's leaving, he buys this spider that they got from the Middle East. And he brings it home and he puts it in a box and he says, I'm going to go get you a fish tank for later. And the first half hour of the movie is setting characters. You have to meet the characters in it. You get the conflict between Jacob and his sister. Jacob's best friend, who the kid that used to be Jacob's best friend, is now dating the sister's best friend. And what starts is this spider, which is, you know, fairly normal size, chews its way out of the box. And he can't find it. And it eventually makes its way into the air duct system. The thing is, this spider multiplies like jackrabbits on marijuana.
Viagra.
Jackrabbits
on Viagra.
Jack, even better. I mean, this one spider turns into, within a couple of days, hundreds of spiders in the vent. And this is, it's about 30 minutes in before it starts. But once it starts, the horror in this thing builds. Because this isn't, I mean, these spiders use humans to lay their eggs. And almost like Alien, when they're hatched, they come out of your body, your mouth, your stomach, wherever. And after the second body is found, the police come in and quarantine the whole building. No one can get out. They're stuck in there with these spiders multiplying, running amok, and slowly picking off every major and minor character in the movie. It's very, I liked it. I mean, it just creeps you out. There's a scene near the end in the basement that is just like, if you do not like spiders, oh, this is going to freak you the hell out. I love the scene near the end where they try to use a firebomb to kill some of the spiders, and rather than kill them, it starts a spider stampede that chases the kids up the stairwell, which is really great. The ending of the movie is a little, I didn't like it that much. My opinion, I don't know what the rest of you think, but this movie was, this was body horror in a way. These spiders were very real. The special effects in this were phenomenal. The spiders looked very realistic. If you do not like spiders, watch this movie. This movie will freak you out. And I don't want to give away anything on the ending or who survives, if anyone survives, but it is definitely worth it. It is about an hour worth of spider horror in this. I started watching it. I watched this about 3 weeks ago, and it was like, I like this enough. I'm going to watch it again.
I thought the beginning of it was kind of slow. I know they're building up the characters that live in the building. I thought the second half, the second part of it was really good, and then the ending kind of. I'm with you. The ending kind of didn't fall. It kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
But the spider scenes and the, them trying to save themselves and everything are really good. Are really good. And there's like the last part of the movies, there's a lot of bad decisions, really bad decisions that are made, or stupid decisions, I guess. But it's a good movie because, well, it's a fun movie to watch and it's creepy and scary because of all the damn spiders.
Yeah.
They did the spiders well. They played on your fears of spiders, and they did that well. The French actually, we can say what we want about them, but they actually have some good movies. They really do have some good movies. They've got one called The Nest that I love. Is made, I think, in the early '90s, and it's a trapped in a warehouse with cops and gangsters. It's kind of like Attack on Precinct 13. But anyway, I'm off track here. I like the spider attacks. Huh?
They did the zombie one back in the early '90s, The Horde, which was a zombie outbreak in a Parisian apartment building.
Yeah, so they do have some good movies. They got a lot of silly movies. This one's worth watching, though. Even though I said the beginning is kind of, slow, it is, but it's the payoff's worth it. But the ending kind of like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But I definitely did like this one, and I'm like Hadley. I'm not a big spider fan, and but this one was worth the watch. What do you guys?
Even with the bad ending, it's worth the watch.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Who's next?
I loved it. I thought this was great. I thought that it was great on so many levels. Like I said, I was barely reading the subtitles because of the action, and I didn't feel like I had to. I could kind of keep up with it. And it was, which I'll tell you a little secret here. The TikTok filter with the spiders, when somebody does that and they'll show it to their boyfriend and then he beats himself in the head because he thinks a spider's crawling on his face. I can watch those over and over and over again. And last night I was watching one of these Facebook reels where somebody thought they saw something crawling around in their refrigerator, and it was one of those jump scares with the spider jumping out at you. So I was geared up and ready for this today, and I wasn't disappointed. Like I said, this kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to kind of suck, but it didn't. It was good. It was really good on a level of, it was scary. The language barrier was not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It was very realistic. It not only did it look like they were real spiders, but they acted like real spiders.
Yeah.
So when you could see everything they were doing, you could put yourself in that scenario, and what would you do? And again, bad choices were made, but I mean, what would you do? There was one scene, I can't remember what it is. I think it was the shower scene when the girl saw this. And I just laughed. I laughed so hard at those guys because they were just, I mean, and I've seen men do this. I've seen men act like little girls about spiders.
Yeah.
So it is the great equalizer when it comes to male versus female. I would say, even if you don't like spiders, you might want to give this one a try if you really like horror. But it was definitely a good Halloween choice.
I like spiders as long as they're way over there. I think they're really cool. They're gifty. I like their their biology and just how they are and how they live. But again, as long as they're over there, I don't want spiders crawling on me. No friggin' way. That's what this movie is. This movie is all about tons and tons of spiders crawling on you and biting you and getting inside your body and laying eggs, and it was just
all things spiders do.
Freaky.
You know what I loved about this? When the spiders got agitated, they could move quickly.
Yes, they were very, very fast.
Yes,
hunting spiders are very fast. These were hunting spiders.
Yes.
So, all spiders spin webs. Even even the funnel webs and the the Brazilian wandering spiders, they spin webs too. But these things didn't use webs to hunt. They just sort of hunted you down till the end, and then there was a lot of web spewing.
Yes.
It was good. I liked it. There was that scene that Hadley was just talking about was a pretty good scene. The one where the girl ends up in the shower, but it also annoyed me a little. And what annoyed me was just the idiocy of the people that were just fighting back and forth about catching a spider with a cup. It went on too long. That could have been like a minute-long scene, and it was like 10 minutes. It was just 8 minutes. It was completely unnecessary for it to be long. Don't get me wrong. It was spooky and creepy, and there's a spider in there that they don't know if it bites them, they're screwed. Because again, all you need is one bite from one of these spiders, and you've got eggs in you. And the thing is, there's by the end of this movie, there's thousands of these things, and they're not little anymore. No. They go from this big to this big to that big, and then there's one at the end who I think that one at the end was his original spider.
I think so.
And it was, they had to stop the car. They had to stop a car because it's in front of them. Me, I would have just run the little thing over. But anyway, and that's where we are at the end. And it, like Scott and Alan said, it lacks. It's not horrible. It's just they could have done anything else and it would have been so much better.
Yeah.
And the fact, the part about the cops keeping them inside and locked up. This isn't a contagion, so all they had to do is put them inside a hazmat suit and take them out of there, and they would have been fine. It was kind of silly. Initially, I thought the cops were keeping them in there because the cops thought it was a contagion. No, but they knew that these once a spider bite you, you are infected with one of these with the more spiders. And that was really cool. There's no, I guess there's a bit of a supernatural aspect to this because the spiders they're too big, too fast.
Yeah.
But the cool part of this is that the people that were in the Middle East, when they actually went to try to catch these spiders and knew how dangerous they were because they thought they could get money for selling them. And so they end up smoking these spiders out of a hole at the beginning, and they capture a bunch of them. And that's how the kid in France, what was his name? Jacob. That's how he ended up with the spider, and then it got loose in the building, and then you have spider apocalypse. So I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I would definitely, if you get creeped out by spiders, well, there's no way this movie's not going to creep you out. You don't need to be creeped out by spiders because this is creepy. So there it is. What would we rank this one?
I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I thought the special effects in this were really high quality for a independent film.
What
What
about
about you, Andy?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was scary. Like I said, I could totally see that happening.
Mhm.
Maybe not that many, but still, I've had my own spider scares. Um, and I could totally see the other side of the story. Like, can you imagine if you're the person trying to contain this, infestation, and these kids are causing all this trouble and trying to get out? And I mean, I could see it from that perspective too, and that doesn't normally happen when I'm watching shows. I mean, I don't normally get that into it, but I could totally see it, and it took me to another level. So I really enjoyed it. I recommend it, even if you don't like spiders. Trust me, they get it in the end, but still, it was a riveting watch. Great for
All right.
Halloween.
Yes.
All right. Rich?
I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I thought it was really well done, spooky, creepy, somewhat terrifying. There's a scene in this where the survivors have to go down this long hallway, and it's just nope, not doing it. Nope. And I thought they were morons for doing that. That was one of their bad decisions. But there was really no other way out. And of course, well, I don't want to wreck it for you.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a 4. What about you, buddy?
I'm going to give it a 3.5 just because it was a little slow at the beginning and the ending could have been better.
Yeah.
But it's worth the watch, especially if you like spiders or especially if you don't like spiders. This one's worth checking out. So I guess both these spider movies tonight we recommend.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Definitely.
it's good for the season. I mean, spiders are spooky. They're scary and they're creepy crawly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this house down the road. It's got like 6 5-foot spiders, black ones, on the outside of their house. They've mounted. It's pretty cool looking. So,
Is that like year round or for Halloween?
yeah, right. Maybe they're real spiders. Maybe.
Exactly. They're waiting for you.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna go over there.
When that guy stepped on that one and all the little baby spiders ran off.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, that reminded me years ago when I first moved to Florida. My mother-in-law found one of the wolf spiders, very popular down in Florida. And my wife was standing. My wife is terrified of spiders. She would go up against Godzilla before she dealt with the spider. And when my mother-in-law poked it, like 100, 1 or 200 of the little baby wolf spiders spread out. My wife knocked me, her daughter, and one of the dogs over, running away from them. And I mean, these things were just like tiny. You can, they were like specks of dust, but spiders scare people.
In your wife's defense,
Yeah.
wolf spiders can get pretty goddamn big.
Yeah.
They can get pretty freaking big.
We have them here, and one of my dogs got one in its mouth one time. It looked like a tarantula.
Oh.
All they could see was like
Oh.
legs hanging out. I thought she got Cthulhu.
Yeah, no thank
Spiders,
you.
I mean, like I said, I've seen 6-foot-tall ninjutsu men scream like bitches and get out of a car. Stop a car in the middle of the road and get out.
Now,
That's funny.
unless it's a brown recluse, which we don't have up here, I let them stay in the house. They eat everything else.
No.
Yes.
No.
I mean,
Because you never know where they go, Scott. You never know where they go.
So-
Crawling down in your ear in the middle of the night.
so
How many spiders do you eat in your sleep?
Yeah.
unquantifiable. Those
Yeah.
the spiders that are up in the corner, the little house spiders, the long skinny ones, they'll eat the bugs. I'm okay with that. But wolf spiders can F right off. I'll do what I can to not kill it, but I'm also not going to approach that thing with a cup. I'm going to approach it with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Wolf
Yeah.
spiders.
They
you go.
got fangs. It's just they can't bite us with their fangs.
A wolf spider? Au
Yeah.
contraire. Wolf
Can
spiders
they?
can absolutely bite you. Ask my son; he's sitting right over there. He's been bitten by a wolf spider. I've been bitten by a wolf spider. They can
How
absolutely
the hell?
bite you.
How big do they get in Massachusetts?
Yeah, Chloe's bragging that she got bit by like 10 the other day. She just said.
Y'all need to call the best man.
Wolf spiders can
Did she
get
stop to count? Did Chloe stop to count how many?
No, it's the same spider. It's just 10 bites. No, I think
What was she doing
her
to
bed.
aggravate it that it would bite you 10 times?
It was
She
in her
moved.
bed.
Oh,
She was asleep. That the freaking thing. She had a bunch of. It looks like initially you can see the 2 pokes, and then it grows into one little blister. It was never bad.
Ooh.
She's not dead. She's over there, so it didn't kill her. She wasn't allergic to it or anything. But the bites aren't
Well,
terribly
I'll tell
nasty. They
y'all.
look like a little bit of like a bubbly mosquito bite.
You know,
Sounds like you need Landa's dog.
I'm going to give y'all some
It's your house.
folklore remedy here on a brown recluse bite. So my ex-husband got bit by a brown recluse when he was young, and he lived with his grandmother, and she put a piece of bacon on top of the wound, and instead of it eating the flesh, it ate the bacon. The poison did.
Oh wow.
So what you're telling me is that I should waste a piece of bacon so that my arm doesn't fall off? Screw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm eating that
we
bacon.
know where Rich's priorities are.
We had a
Yeah.
lady that came to one of my mom's garage sales when I was growing up that she had a hole in her leg, and it was where a brown recluse had bit her. So I have a healthy respect for not getting bit by it.
Yeah, so brown recluse venom is particularly nasty.
Yes.
Necrotizing gangrenosa is what happens to the flesh, and it does not have to be at the bite site. It can be anywhere on your body that comes out once the venom is in there, and it can happen more than once. You look that stuff up. I almost said a bad word. I didn't say it. Look that stuff up. That can happen. Does not have to be necessarily at the bite site. It'll be at the bite site for sure, but it can pop up later on anywhere in your body.
How long does the
Wow.
venom stay in you?
I don't know. Let me find that out right
Till
now.
it ate everything it can.
Well,
no,
Doc
it's
said
terrible.
we swallow 5. We swallow 5 spiders a year, according to Doc. So
No,
some people probably
no,
more.
we don't, Doc. No, we don't.
Craig said he still got a scar on his manhood from where he got bit by a recluse 25 years ago.
Yuck. Sorry about that.
I just
Craig.
added part of that.
Yeah, I was going to go somewhere with that about how to get rid of the venom, but no, I'll be nice.
I think he goes
spiders,
camping with a
healthy
cousin.
respect for them.
He goes camping with a cousin in case he gets bit there. Then they can put the poison out. It's
Oh.
okay.
That's how he finds out which family members really love him.
Well, so when I was little, my grandmother gave me this big plastic spider, and it hurt my feelings so bad. I was like, Mama, why'd you give me this? And years later, I found out about the Christmas spider, and so it's changed my heart towards my mama giving me that big old plastic spider.
What's a Christmas spider?
Well, you'll have to look it up, but it's a tale about the Christmas spider. And so a lot of, I think it's maybe German, that they put spiders on their Christmas tree. That's where the tinsel comes from. The tinsel on your Christmas tree, it comes from the Christmas spider.
Of course, the Germans would have spiders as Christmas ornaments. I mean,
I'm all about the Christmas spider now. I think it's kind of awesome.
Well, shall we do Bad Monkey since we're running on?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. Alan,
Do it, boss.
No,
You're the
I
Bad
want you to
Monkey
do it.
person.
I didn't. Do
I
Bad
can't.
Monkey.
I didn't watch the whole episode. I didn't see the whole episode.
No. Well,
I started watching right before the show, and I didn't get to finish this whole episode. I'm halfway through it.
well, we're gonna have to all
So-
pitch in on this one because I watched it 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
three or 4 weeks ago. I
What
tried to
episode
watch
are
it
we on?
tonight, but I got busy.
Is this number 4?
This is 5.
This is 5.
5.
yes.
So I think we're 2 behind, and I'm currently watching. But this is the episode where trying to think. It had a lot of Neville in it, and I really liked it. It's the one where Egg chases Neville and shoots him. You know,
Oh, yes.
where he thinks that the ex-girlfriend that he just never called again is going to help him, and his lady friend is like, "Oh no, she not." That episode. That's this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
This is one of the better episodes to me. I really liked it. Now I've got everybody wondering what the hell a Christmas spider is. I'm going to do some research, aren't you? But yeah, so I can't remember. I'm gonna give me a minute. I can look it up.
This is the one, okay, where it ties in the detective that screwed
Oh,
over Yancey.
yeah,
And
that
he's
guy.
um
Go ahead.
after okay, I remember after Izzy is killed by Christopher, Yancey shows up right after that, and this black neighbor, she sees him, and he's the only one she sees, and then she reports him to the Miami Police Department, to the detective. What's his face? I can't think of his last name. And she sees a picture of Yancey on the wall, and she's like, "That's the guy right there." And so now Yancey is wanted in for murder. That's what
This
they
is the
said, right? For
Gravehaven
murder.
episode where they go get the arm. I should have known because it was called
Yep.
the one the arm came back or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And he meets Rose's parents.
yeah, Yancey hooks up with Rosa in the morgue.
Well, I thought
So
that
they
was
have
last
sex in the
episode. Was
morgue.
that earlier this episode?
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the
On
episode. They
an
have sex.
autopsy table. We're not going to leave that part of
The
it out.
autopsy table, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Ow.
right after that, the
Ow.
detective shows up looking for Yancey. And that's as far as I got. So someone want to carry
Well,
this?
It goes from there. I don't want to. I think I'm too past that. I don't want to mix up. I
Yeah,
don't want
it's
to give
easy to
away
mix.
something that we need to do next week. But this is a good episode because you can see Yancey's in some deep shit now. Because I think his name is Mendoza. Is that his name? Mendoza, the bad cop.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
He's
And
a dirty
he's a
cop, and he's
crooked
going to
cop.
He's going to try to pin this murder on Yancey, even though it's not really his
Thanks, Craig.
job. But the rest of it, this didn't have a lot of interaction with the next door neighbor's architect or the
Realtor, yeah.
realtor. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I think those interactions, however short they are some of the best. It's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
But you see, Yancey is kind of on the run, and what he does is he goes and he cuts off a finger off of the arm that has been buried, because that's the only thing that was buried of the guy, because they can't, of course, they think he's dead and blah blah. They can't find him, and they find an arm in the ocean. Guy's got to be dead. Shark's got him. So he goes and he cuts off a finger, and he wants to put it on a phone to try to open the phone, because it takes a fingerprint. And so Yancey's running around with a rotting finger in his pocket, and it's just the way they do that stuff, and the ideas for it are just hilarious. It's just it's funny. I mean, it's funny if you've got that sixth sense of humor, which the four of us definitely do, and so does everybody over here on the right side, because otherwise they wouldn't be here. But yeah, it was really well done. Again, it's another episode that gives us a little backstory into Mendoza, just a little bit more on Yancey and why they hate each other, and you can see that it's building from there. We know who killed Izzy, and we know you can definitely see that it was going to get pinned on Yancey. But again, I don't know where I should stop, because I could keep going with that, but I feel that
there's a lot of stuff that we're skipping over too, and one is that Yancey reveals that he's alive to Nick and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's another interesting plot twist. And then the guy in the SUV who's been stalking Yancey actually is stalking his married ex-girlfriend who is wanted for an inappropriate relationship with the driver who was her student in high school.
Yeah.
And that came out too. And then you have all the stuff with like I said, Neville is getting some and I'm really interested to see how Neville's going to tie back into everything. But
Yeah.
he is tricked into handing that hard drive over, but that he stole, that proves all the stuff about Nick. Is it Nick and I can't think of their names
Eve.
again. Nick and
Yeah.
Eve, yeah.
Eve.
So
That's the
there's
one-armed man.
yeah, the one
What are we? You know
So,
what I
but
like is
more
when
importantly is that Rose is lying to people and covering up for Yancey, who she's now banging.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But
then
I
there's
like
the
how
question
her
of will Yancey turn himself in?
And her sister now taking over as Heather from the Weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That
I wonder
that's
how
pretty
that's going
good.
to tie in. There's a lot of stuff going on in the show that
So,
Yeah.
the storyline in this one that intrigued me was Nick and his wife. I mean, she's
this-
a fucking psycho.
this is the
Yeah.
episode where she's talking about the daughter, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He
this
talks
is
about
where
offing the daughter. Yeah,
she is. Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but she is definitely twisted.
yeah. And I like where Nick's like, "You want me to hurt my daughter or whatever, you know?" And he just, you could tell he's like, "That's it, that's it." And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah,
what
but the
I
minute
meant.
he said
I
that,
love
guess
you."
who went on her shit list?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well, she knew. I mean, you could see her. I mean,
Yeah.
she's just evil.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But no, I agree with you. Andy. It's like there's so many loose ends that you're following. I can't wait till they all come together.
I know.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope
and I hope
there's
Scott
more
Glenn comes
between-
back.
I hope there's more between Yancey and the realtor. That's one of my favorite stories.
Scott Glenn, you will see him again.
Okay,
tell you that.
Good.
I know y'all told me he's not narrating it, but it sounds like his voice.
It
No, it's
does, but it's the boat captain.
voice.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
he's the vote caster. I don't know. I'm gonna have to believe that that's Scott Glenn.
Yeah.
It's just
Vote captain
great. Like I
is the
said, this
older guy.
whole story with the girlfriend and having the underage guy and she's being pursued. That's a whole level of I'd never saw that coming.
You know, and that's different. I mean, because that's more kind of a serious thing than the rest of the story. Even the murder and stuff. You know, her storyline is kind of, because that's kind of like, you know, the bad juju stuff. You know what I mean? I mean,
But
you,
you know, it's
I don't know what
funny.
you can say on you. I don't know what you can say on YouTube or not, you know, anymore with their standards. But what she did is
Inappropriate. It's an inappropriate relationship, regardless.
there you go. And it so I mean, it's just a different level, like you said, amongst all the craziness that's going on. You know, even with the murder, the chopped off arms and all that. You know, it's just a whole different line.
But
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's got to filter in because he's been following her. You know, they thought that he was after Yancey, but he was
yeah,
really.
no. What I'm saying is it, and I'm probably not getting my point across because I don't think I can say what I want to say. Is that crime that she's committed or allegedly committed, whatever.
Well, it wasn't no allegedly.
Even murder is like the worst thing you can do. But society looks at this a little different, you know, because that's our
it's
kids.
a double standard. If it was a female student and a male teacher, everybody would be like, "Oh, he'd be in jail," the whole thing. But it's a female teacher with a male student.
Well, like Craig says, it's darker. I guess that's what like Craig says.
They get away with it all the time. And I mean, I know I'm going to get in trouble.
No, they don't.
You are. They don't anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I'm sure the
they
student
still do it.
I'm sure the
it's
student
crazy.
wasn't protesting much when a good-looking teacher like that comes on to him.
Well,
I wouldn't.
But you know,
it's the same.
But
with
you know,
men,
you look
though.
you look at the history of some of these guys that are, I want to say, victims of this,
Yeah.
and later in life it affects them. you know, and not positively.
Yeah.
You know, look up some of these cases with these guys. I forgot what's her name, that she had babies with this guy and everything, and he's a screwed up dude.
Oh,
I
what
I,
was her
I
name?
think it depends on the I think it depends on the age too. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not condoning this at all. I think it's pretty dark, but I guess my point is that's just a whole different thing than what's going on. You know, everything's
Yeah,
crazy, and then you have this. You know, kind
you're
of
right.
it's an essay type. It's an essay
Look,
type of thing. You know, it's just
everything
weird.
else kind of has a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor,
Yeah, yeah,
and
Well,
then you
and
have
we
moving
can laugh
this.
at it.
along
You know,
those
and we can
lines,
laugh at it, but
I haven't decided yet if the kid is going to be just like a child or some kind of psychopath, an additional crazy person, because he has both of those vibes to me. One is like this innocent little kid, and he's not. He's now like 22, 23 years old. So I haven't decided if he's that innocent young man or if he's so crazy in love with her that he would commit murder.
You mean the kid
we don't know
that
how.
she slept with?
Yes.
And you don't know the
seen
story's
him
not
in
out yet. The story's not out. I just thought it was kind of a dark little vein of storytelling to go, you know, compared to all the other craziness,
It
you know,
is. I agree. I agree with you, Alan.
juju stuff and all that, you know.
Londa, I'm not.
Oh, wait a minute. Scott's a teacher. I'm sorry, Scott. I forgot. Sorry.
We had a teacher in my high school. She was about 30. She dated one of her students when he graduated and turned 18. And to let you know what this woman was like, they sent her home one day because she came to school. She looked like a street hooker. So,
Well, obviously there's some issues there too.
Our track coach.
When you're dealing with that kind of situation, it is one of those. There's just so many ethical questions.
Yeah,
morals and
our
ethics.
track coach. He married one of the gals I was going to high school with. She always was his assistant. She was his assistant during track season. They were all
assistant.
Well,
that's
creepy
in both
and he married her, had kids with her. He's like 50 years old.
So there was a guy that was a 5th grade teacher, young guy, pretty wife. She was an opera singer, and he was also the youth minister at the church. And one of the kids that was in his Sunday school was in high school, and he ended up leaving his wife for this high school girl and following her off to college. And that's so, and my family member that was a teacher at the time was friends with him, and I was like, there's something not right about him. You know, just you know, he was too comfortable flirting with the girls, you know.
Is wood chipper hyphenated? I'm not
wood
sure.
chipper?
No, wood chipper is one word.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on this and get everybody into this. I just thought it was like Craig said, it was darker. It was just a dark little story. You know,
well, it
but
is,
who knows? I
and
haven't watched that.
That's what makes this show so great. Is it's multifaceted. You've got these really great characters. They're all brought together, and we've got this great crime going on. Which, I mean, and I was thinking to myself, if he's already been declared dead, could you murder him and get away with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? That may happen.
Well, that's what I was thinking is going to happen. It came up to my mind this week was, oh shit, well, that could happen, and what could they do? Because he's already been declared dead.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
There you go.
This is fun though. This is a fun series to watch.
I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah.
So our next one, do we want? Because there's only a couple of episodes left. Do we want our next foray to be Tulsa Kings?
Yeah, we can do that.
That started up.
Yeah.
Is that a series that's already had stuff?
It's already had
It's got
one
season. Yeah.
But you
I don't
will
know if
binge
I'll get.
watch
I
it.
don't know if I'll get a chance to watch the first season, but
I have a feeling, Scott, once you watch it, you're gonna watch all
You'll
of it.
love it.
yeah, but I don't have much free time.
He
Well, we
says
can do that.
this, but we'll see.
Watch
Wait,
it while
wait.
you sleep.
Yeah.
I
Watch
don't
it while
think-
you
I
sleep,
don't-
Scott.
If you
I don't think
sleep,
you have to
sleep.
watch it to. I don't think you have to watch it to catch up with the
Okay.
second season. You know.
You know what? They'll probably have a recap, right? They'll probably have a
Yeah.
recap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be worth it. I like it, but
Wanda, she's not that perverted. The rest
If
of
I
us,
did, I didn't know I said it, Lando.
the rest of us are, but not her.
That's 11 o'clock, kids.
Yep.
All right, it's past
right.
time. We gave y'all 2 minutes. All right, it's because Rich was late.
True. Only 1 minute.
All right, guys. Until next week, we'll see y'all.
That's going to do it for this week's show. For notifications each time the Weird Realities Network goes live, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You can expect fresh weirdness 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week. But before we depart, let me give a special shout out to our incredible patrons, Mike Lewis, Landis Saldana, and Alan Lassiter. We couldn't keep the lights on here at Weird without you. And a very special thanks to our partners that keep Weird Reality spinning. It's you guys who make our weird world go round. And if you're interested in supporting our endeavors, consider joining the Cabal of Weird over at Patreon. And keeping you entertained and bringing you new content is our goal with every cent that you donate. And if you are interested in partnering or sponsoring, be sure to send us an email at weirdrealities@gmail.com. We are always interested in making new friends and creating a new tapestry of strangeness with you. So, until next week, kids, stay weird, you beautiful weirdos.
Yay!